I'm Amber Young,
And I'm Barbara Phillips.
and this is Let's
Let's talk
Talk
EVM.
EVM.
And we're back
Welcome.
again.
We're back. We're back with you. Welcome, everyone. We're going to start with our disclaimer, and that disclaimer is that all of the views, is stated for myself and Barbara.
Thank you.
And the disclaimer is that all of the views that are expressed on this podcast are our own, and they are not the views of the United States government.
Thank you, Amber. So we're super excited to be here today because we're having an encore, recore, whatever those things are called, without a direct. What is it when you go to a concert and they demand a
encore, right?
Yeah, so that's. I think we. I'm going to say, Amber, that we got that. We got
Ooh.
that through our LinkedIn response. We got a gazillion impressions, and we got, I think probably the most comments we've gotten to any post on our LinkedIn group. And we're super jazzed about that. And we really want to encourage our listeners to continue to do that. And so what's the plan here, Amber?
Oh my gosh. So for anyone out there who hasn't quite gotten plugged into the know, we have a LinkedIn group, same name as this podcast. Let's Talk EVM in LinkedIn.
It's a group, not a page. Don't confuse them.
We actually have both, just to be confusing, but the group is where we will talk with the community. And we post our audiograms, our little like snippets to preview the episode. We ask polls and questions. And last week, after I think it was like prior to us posting on the Thursday prior to Friday post, we encouraged everyone to share their EVM truths. And they did.
And they did. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Yes. So the name of this episode is, I'm just going to say it, Amber. It's called We Hold These Truths to Be Self-Evident, Part 2.
Yes, exactly.
And there might be a part 3 or part 4. We don't know. We don't know. But we're not limiting ourselves. We are limiting ourselves in time.
Yes. Today is a 15-minute challenge.
Yeah, we're taking a few minutes out tonight. It is August, and so we're gonna curtail the time. But we're really excited about the comments we got, and I think we want to start by. Well, what we want to do, I think maybe is a little bit mixed, like understanding what the comments are between, we're going to read them, and then Amber and I will discuss them. And then if we feel like it's something we would have said as one of ours, we will say that or something. I mean, I guess we can agree or disagree. I can't imagine we disagree with any of them. But how about that, Amber?
That sounds great. Yes. Okay. And then you and I each have 2. I know I have 2 additional ones. So depending on time.
Yeah.
Yep. We could bring ours up too. So that was the original thought, was just do ours, but with everyone having such great comments,
much to say.
We want to share yours.
Yeah.
So here we go. All right, Barbara, pick one. Which one do you want to start with?
Okay. Well, let's just start with last in, first out. Is that Lifo?
Yes.
So we're going to say the person's first name, but not their last name.
Yes.
So our friend Christian, we all adore, says, EVM, you may not know it, but you do it every day. For example, small tasks at home or big work-life projects. Organize, plan, track, forecast, analyze, adjust, rinse, repeat till the end. I love it. You know what, Amber? I love it too. How about you?
I love it too. I love it. I love it.
We all love it. Chris, and that is such a smack in the face reality, right? I mean, yes, people act like it's some esoteric, impossible, difficult thing to do, but the reality is, I mentioned in one of the earlier episodes, Amber, you might recall, that my friend Joe Fischetti used it on his wedding.
Right. Yeah.
And he's still married. Just to point that out. But where they cycled, they progressed it, they had, for the unknowns, they put aside someone in the management reserve, and they had a wonderful time. And so it is overall applicable. And actually, as a tangent to this, when I studied for the PMP back in the dark ages, like 2001, I'm really dating myself, you could actually, there's a resume, there's a project experience, you have to say hours, and it's a little, organized, but back then it wasn't quite the same organized. But if you were like a stay-at-home worker, like, you stayed home with your kids kind of a thing, and everything is a project, start to end, unique endeavor, you could actually use that as evidence of project management skills. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you do it
was
every day.
easy, like what, you have a task, you have a start, you have an you have exit criteria. What does it mean to have a project? And so, yeah. So, all right. So what's the next one?
Okay. Next one. From Rob, we have cost is what you spend. Earned value is what you got for it.
Now, this is one of mine. I did have this. I do
Mm.
have where people think that you've spent money, therefore work has been accomplished. That was one of my aphorisms. He stole that from me. I mean, I've given it to him. I mean, we're in agreement. We're partners.
You're in agreement.
Yeah, we're partners.
It is a truth that is
But it is a truth that
evident.
people often look at the Who Charge report and say, well, work must be getting done. Money's been spent. And that is a very, very common misnomer. But that is a truth. Money spent does not equal work accomplished.
And value, right? It's in the word earned value. It's the actual value of that money spent. You can spend 10 times for the same thing, possibly. Where's the value? What is it? What is the actual value? And the value is compared to the budget, right? Your BCWP or earned value is compared to your BCWS. What is the scope that you're actually claiming performance on?
If you have to do the same thing 10 times a Sunday to get it done, well, so be it. That's called corrective action. That's called a cost variance. That's called, that's the point of the system. It's exceptions. Yeah. It took us 10 times to get the same piece of work done for that budget we estimated. We didn't expect these things to go south. We had some risks identified, but so that's what it is. And you're taking corrective action using the data. So thank you for that, Rob.
And actually, I'm going to interject one of my aphorisms that I had, because it's basically the same type of thing, but a little different. It's got the Amber data bent on it.
Okay.
So my version of that I pulled out was that EVMS data is distinctly different data because it measures performance. So that is to me, that's a huge distinction for EVMS data is performance measurement, not just accounting and actual dollars, finance.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's the unique element is, and that's the trick. And that's the hard part. That's where they're, I forget performance measurement technique or earned value technique. That's the trick is what's the expectation? How can we measure it? And that's where the money is. That's where I just want to say more cliches. That's where the rubber hits the road. That's a tall pole in the tent. That's but
it's distinctly different, right?
But that's what separates it from standard project management and financial management is that performance element to it.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's very good.
Next up. Do you want to do the next one?
Okay, you want me to read another one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was starting at the top. So we have Brian. And Brian says, here's my take. EVM doesn't manage a project and it doesn't predict the future by itself. It provides objective evidence. The value comes from combining that evidence with schedule, risk, technical performance, and experienced management judgment to tell the real story about the program. I mean, his use of the term experience management judgment. This is the whole idea that the data is the data, but it's the interpretation and using the data to make judgment and make corrective action. That's where I think a lot of people get caught up on, well, we produce the data, we've produced the report. Of what value is that?
Then there's also that layer of how do you get the eye of insight. Literally, how do you have the eye? If you're a leader and you're making decisions, how do you train your eye to see the insight? That's so important. And it brings me back, Barbara. I was just looking back on some of my history and LinkedIn, and I saw the origins of our partnership and beginnings of even this podcast.
Okay.
And that was our University of Maryland Project Management Symposium talk that we gave together, which was about being a citizen scientist.
Oh,
and getting
yes. That was
data
right.
insights out of the data. So teaching people how to see those, get those insights and make that become experienced in your judgment. Yeah.
Well, that's time and experience. I mean, it, to some degree, I think it, I think the number one primary skill any project manager has is communication.
Oh my goodness. Of course. Yes, of course. Yes.
So a person who's in the project manager position to make that corrective and make those decisions, what are they doing? They're talking to their people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
listening, also listening. Communication is both ways.
Yes, 100%. So you're seeing the data percolate, telling you something's going south. And then they talk to their people and they listen to their people and then they learn. And then they have the experience judgment to facilitate corrective action. So brilliant.
That's amazing.
Brian, thank you.
Thank you, Brian. All right. Okay. We have two more. I think I'll go to Michelle. And Michelle says, I have long opined that any manager following prudent project management best practices is probably also using EVM and may not know it. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she and Kristen talked ahead of time. Christian, excuse me, talked ahead of time. But yeah, they're two peas in a pod, aren't they? With that one,
and that's and if they are using it, and it seems intuitive, then they are just ready to become EVM champions, and they should listen to this podcast. So if you know anyone out there who appears to be using EVM and doesn't realize it, please turn them on to this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been on projects in my experience that where project managers will start just counting milestones accomplished. Hey, let's get 25 or 30 milestones in a queue over the next year or two. Mm-hmm. And then just,
but then what's the value of that milestone?
But they're all equally weighted.
You know what I mean? Really like more like the art of the value.
Still, they're trying.
Sure. Oh, so you're saying that you're encouraging this. Okay.
Well, I'm not. I mean, they should make sure
it's a first step.
Value, but in the meantime, they're also still doing it, like Kristen and Michelle saying. They're still doing the same thing. They're trying to latch on to how much has been done, not just time passing, not just how much money's been spent, but what has been done. We had 30 milestones. How many of them have been done? Even if they're all equal weighted, which is subpar, but is it also an attempt at the same thing?
Right.
People are doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. All right. Take us to the last one, please.
All right. So we have Jeffrey, who says that EVM is a project management tool if capitalized, if you used it correctly. And I think where he's going is that it is often used as a
reporting mechanism,
and
just the data. Mm-hmm.
Which segues to one of my aphorisms, which I was going to suggest tonight, which is that, in my opinion, and I've espoused this for many times, it always kind of catches people short. Like, who's the primary consumer of the performance data? It's the person who created it. The primary, secondary, tertiary. You know what I mean? But I put that line in the sand. I'm above it. I'm below it. I'm the one who has to now I'm intimately familiar with it. I wrote it. I time-phased it. I gave it the performance measurement techniques. I'm seeing the results come back. I'm the one who's going to talk to that project manager and say, let me communicate with you. This is what this means. Here's my recommended corrective action. course, project manager makes the call. But that is often missed. People are so busy giving the customer. And when I was really active, at my job in this, they would often complain that they got the data up at, muckety muck level. They would often complain they didn't get the data in a timely manner. I was like, what are you doing with it? You're the one saying, oh, we should sub that out, or we should replace that engineer. He doesn't know what he's doing, or we should. No, you're looking for trending. You're looking at that level, management, customer level. You're looking for EAC data. You're looking for, are these people are trending down? Are they monitoring, controlling this properly? But the first line of the data, in my opinion, is that person who wrote it. Which I once in my career actually referred to as the estimator. And boy, was that a miscommunication. That one. They're like, oh, those are the pricing people. Okay, therein lies my land negotiators. I mean, that's part of the problem right there. Like, you have the pricing people doing the proposal. Okay, they've done some analogy or parametric estimating. I get it. But it's the person that ultimately is responsible for the work. That's who first needs to get the data. They can get a flash report. They can be using estimated actuals. They can be getting that initial variance so they can get started on their variance analysis report on what caused it, and if there is, and what the impact is, and what if there's something that can be done. Amber.
My thought there, that is, you're talking about this person who's ultimately responsible. And
primarily, I don't know.
Primarily,
ultimately, is it kind of
okay. Primarily, or the one who creates it. My mind immediately goes to the CAM, the control account manager, right? Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. I think we're gonna
now just euphemistically referring to them as the one making the estimate. That was a big mistake. I've never done that again. Anyway, yes, Amber. Could we talk all night?
We could, and we have more, but we're going to stop here. We're pretty much at our time. I have one closing thought.
Yes.
Because I just wanted to share this with you and everyone. Last Friday, I was inspired by our show and by your title, because you did select the title for our show, our episode last week and this week. So last Friday, after the episode aired, I went to the National Archives and I went to see and look at the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, how wonderful. And you just lived hop, skip, and a jump from it. Yeah. So
it was wonderful. So got to see where that began with these truths. Please say it again. I don't have
these truths. We hold, it starts that way. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Thomas Jefferson.
Thank you. Yeah, beautiful.
Happiness. But we're not going down that path. But anyway, I think these kind of maxims, aphorisms, axioms. There is something to be said for like a mantra. Maybe as we mature this discussion, we'll get it on the thing, and maybe we'll end up with a top. I know GAO is always trying to grab these things into best practices and so forth, but I think these kind of truths, I think there's a vehicle for this. I think folks will help us make it, and we'll publish it there on LinkedIn in the group, and people can reference it. It'll be fine.
Keep growing. Keep them growing.
Is it too soon to tell them that we're going to be at the PC Expo in October?
No, go for it.
Well, on October 6th at the PC Expo, which is kind of an international event, they have it in 5 continents. And so the one in North America is in Washington at Nat Stadium. And it's pretty cool to go to Nat Stadium because you can have a tour of the field and throw a pitch and use the batting cage and stuff. But anyway, so it's very international, very well attended, a lot of U.S. participants there. A lot of our friends are going to be there, along with Amber naturally as a plenary keynote with her friends. But in addition, we have a half an hour. We're going to talk about the podcast there. So we're excited about that. It'll be October 6th in that stadium.
We hope to see you there. That would be great.
All right, Amber.
So that's it.
That's it from
Let's
Talk
EBM.
Thank you so
Mm.
much for listening. We really appreciate you.
Woo.